Let me guess, you are preparing for your best ball draft and you wanted to see what some other people are doing so you could win that money. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Underdog Fantasy right now. The draft looks like it starts in about 25 seconds. I'm not playing no games this season. We really want to make sure we're providing you value across the board, whether we're talking about category leagues, we're bringing specialists in from Yahoo and Roto World, whether we're talking about Roto leagues, we brought in my man, Dan Besbris, who's the Roto King. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about points leagues, you know your boy got you. We also talked about Dynasty with my man Noah Rubin. And now we going into best ball, Underdog Fantasy. We drafting live here. Let's get it, man. It looks like the draft just kicked off. First person off the board is Jokic. Then second, we got Antetokounmpo. Then we have Luka. I'm going to go ahead and start getting focused because I have this silly thing where I be messing up, man, on my drafts. I be like not knowing where the buttons are, and I be so busy giving y'all the play-by-play of who's getting drafted that I forget to draft my own daggone team. So it looks like after Doncic, we had SGA. Then we had Embiid, Tatum, Edwards went early. Love that. I'm going to be eyeing Halliburton here. Also looking at Durant. Also looking at, unfortunately, Anthony Davis, but I will take him in a best ball draft. Not so interested in him for points leagues, season-long points leagues, but it looks like I got a back-to-back pick. I'm going to be the last pick here, so I'm really excited about that. Let me focus on who I'm going to grab for these next two picks, and then I will go back for the recap. I might even pull up the draft board for the next time around. So I'm going to go ahead and just queue up Anthony Davis. I'm going to queue up Kevin Durant. I'm going to queue up LaMelo Ball. These are the players that I'm looking at. So if I could get two of these three, I'll be happy. If I need to throw a fourth in there, maybe I'll throw Damian in there. I think Damian Lillard is fine. I'm going to grab LaMelo first, though. That's who I would take there. I would take LaMelo. And then if I had to pick out of KD and AD, I think I'm going to just take KD. So let's go ahead and pull up the big board so we can take a look and see what we got. So first we had Jokic. 2, we had Giannis. 3, we had Luka, SGA. Joel goes at 5. Tatum goes at 6. Edwards goes at 7. Sabonis goes at 8. Very interesting, especially in a best ball draft for him to go so early. Really, really excited to see that. Tyrese Halliburton, Curry, Young. I grabbed LaMelo Ball, then I grabbed KD right after that. Anthony Davis, Lillard, Siakam, Mikal Bridges. Love that pick. Then with the 18th pick, second pick in the 6th round, LeBron James. 2-7, pick 19, Devin Booker. And for people who play season-long points leagues, even if you're in a sleeper league, playing lock-in format or game pick format, these best ball drafts are very valuable. You know what I'm saying? You get to see, some of the most active drafters, people are drafting here with money on the line. So you want to really pay attention. Is it a perfect formula for what you should do when you are in your draft rooms? Absolutely not. This is best ball. It's very different. However, the rankings are something that you want to pay attention to. You want to see where people are going, especially if you're playing in a points league, especially if you're playing in a sleeper app, lock in, or game pick format. That's something you want to really pay attention to. So let's get back to the recap. After Devin Booker at the 2-7, we had the Don, aka Spider, go at the 2-8, Donovan Mitchell. Jaren Jackson Jr. goes at the 2-9. Julius Randle at 2-10. Jaylen Brown with the 23rd pick at 2-11. Paolo Banchero is closing out the second round. And then at the top of the third, we have Lauri Markkanen. So I'm going to go ahead and switch mode here so I can go ahead and start queuing up the players that I'm going to be looking at. We got De'Aaron Fox here, Zion Williamson, Victor Wembanyama, Bam Adebayo. Definitely interested in Kyrie Irving. Definitely interested in Evan Mobley here and Cade Cunningham. So on my back-to-back picks, if I can grab 2 of those, and then I think I might even throw Chet up in here. Very interested in Chet. Not so interested in Victor. I'd like to actually get Chet on my next 2 picks, but I'm pretty confident he won't come back around if I wait that long. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you got to be mindful of. And also, you know, you want to make sure that you're drafting a team that you're happy with. So don't just draft people because they're at the top of the projections. You want to draft people because you're interested in having them on your team. So I'll go back to the recap after we can secure our next 2 picks. Again, I'd like to grab 2 out of these 4 players. I got Kyrie Irving, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Chet Holmgren. And I'm literally 3 picks away from getting the 2 players that I would want, which right now it would be a struggle to pick between between Mobley or Cade. I would likely take Cade there just because I'm confident that we'll be able to find some bigs later on. But those are the 2. Oh, we got one of my guys off the board. So that makes it easy. Mobley is off the board, guys. Somebody snipe Mobley. That was my man, Jay Bodez. Thanks, Jay. Now, Old Town Sharks is up. Please don't take Kyrie. He doesn't take Kyrie. He grabs Barnes. Oh, man, I wouldn't do that. And then, oh, my next man took Jamal Murray. Holy guacamole chips. We got him. So we're going to grab Kyrie with the first pick. Next, I'm going to just go ahead and take Cade. So I know I'm all set for guards right now. I feel really comfortable with where I am with guards. Let me just take a look at what I got. I got LaMelo, Kyrie, Cade, and I got 1 wing, Kevin Durant. One thing that's worth noting in a best ball draft, folks, listen close. This is important. You can get your bigs later, and you don't need that many bigs. If you grab yourself 2 or 3 bigs, actually 3 bigs, I would say, I think you'll be fine. Again, just a disclaimer. I've never won like a major prize in best ball. I've won little tournaments here and there, but I've never won a major prize. So I'm not a $1 million winner. So I'm not going to sit here in front. But those guys typically say where you need to focus your energy are on the wings and the guards. People who win those big prizes have wings and guards on their team. Let me quickly do this recap. So after marketing, we had Kat, DeMar DeRozan, Paul George, De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, Jalen Brunson, Zion Williamson, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Jamal Murray. I wouldn't have took Jamal Murray that early. Kyrie Irving, I grabbed. Cade Cunningham, I grabbed him. Brandon Ingram, Jimmy Butler, a.k.a. Young Emo, My Chemical Romance, Jimmy Butler. Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray, Bam Adebayo, James Harden goes in the 4th round. I'm not mad at that at all. I wouldn't touch him just because I don't want the headache. Another one, Kawhi Leonard, I wouldn't touch him just because I don't want the headache. And then we're all caught up in terms of the recap. So now I'm going to strictly take a look and see what kind of wings are out there. So Franz Wagner is definitely somebody I'm looking at. If Chet is still on the board, I'm going to grab Chet anyway. Jeremy Grant is a discount wing that I'd be interested in. I'm also definitely interested in Fred VanVleet here. Not so high on Josh Giddey as others this season, but definitely a draftable player. OG Anunoby, super high on him. So I would likely leave this here. Chet, Franz Wagner, Jeremy Grant. Oh, shoot. Looks like Fred VanVleet is off the board. I have a little ways to go. I don't know if Chet Holmgren is going to make it back to me. He's the 3rd player up in the actual projections, and I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Good God, I got a bunch of picks before I come up. I ain't coming up no time soon, so I don't think he's going to come back around to me. So let me start preparing for the worst case scenario. So in terms of wings here, again, I want to start getting some. Chris Middleton is somebody that's formidable. I'm not mad at him at all. Interested in Walker Kessler this year, so I'll put him in my queue. Definitely, I think Miles Bridges comes at a discount. Keegan Murray is another player that I'm looking at. Actually, not so crazy about him. Let me pull in my man Jalen Williams, actually. Jarrett Allen, I'm going to put in my queue as well. Jakob Poeltl is another player I'm interested in. Then Asar Thompson, I love. Brandon Ingram, I love. I'm sorry, Brandon Miller. I love that. I'm about, man, it's, oh, okay, I'm coming up. I'm in two picks. So definitely my man is off the board. The guy I was looking at, Chet Holmgren, is off the board. No problem. I'm going to likely grab back-to-back wings here. I might fade OG Anunoby just because, I might fade Jeremy Grant. I'm sorry. Just because I don't know what the situation is long-term. And unlike a redraft league, I won't have the ability to trade him. So if they moved him, he could end up in a situation where he is not, gonna be able to provide the type of value from where you drafted him. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think I'm out on Jeremy Grant. I'm gonna remove him from my queue. I'm gonna go Chris Middleton. Then I'm gonna take with my next pick OG Anunoby, just so I can start filling out some of those wing slots that I'm trying to fill. Hopefully I don't get sniped. It looks like I'm not. So I'm going to grab Chris Middleton, who is healthy this year. Really excited about seeing what he's going to do with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just the biggest big three that they've ever had in this era of the Milwaukee Bucks. So there I go. Boom. And then I'm going to follow that up with OG Anunoby. So let's quickly do the recap. After I think we were right up to James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. So after Kawhi Leonard, Darius Garland goes at the 4-9 with the 45th pick. Desmond Bane, Josh Giddey, Kyle Kuzma, Fred VanVleet, Zach LaVine, Vucevic, Ayton, Wagner, Chet Holmgren. Oh, it breaks my heart. I could have reached for him earlier, but again, who am I going to take? Cade Cunningham or Chet Holmgren? I'll take Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham has first round upside. He could, quite frankly, finish in points leagues as a top 12 kind of guy. So I'm just saying. John Morant goes, I'm staying away from John Morant. I don't want the headache. Tyrese Maxey, Alfred Şengün, Claxton, Porzingis. I grabbed Middleton. I grabbed OG Anunoby. Again, not the sexiest names, but definitely very valuable wings when it comes to basketball. Anthony Simons, Walker Kessler. Yeah, he got me. Keldon Johnson, Scoot Henderson. Jeremy Grant is off the board. Jabari Smith Jr. is off the board. So I'm going to start thinking about my next few picks because we're all caught up. Take a quick look at my roster. So it looks like now I'm about balanced in terms of guards, wings, and I just don't have any bigs. So I'm really going to be targeting my bigs next. I already have Jarrett Allen and Jakob Poeltl in my queue here. However, I might very well grab Jalen Williams and then grab Jarrett Allen and catch the other big later. So I'm really interested to see what Jalen Williams will do this year. Also interested in Miles Bridges. That might be a little too expensive for my taste, a little too rich for my blood. But let's go ahead and queue up some other people here. So Austin Reeves is somebody that I like. Devin Vassell just got a big contract. John Collins, somebody I like. Brook Lopez I like as well, but I feel like, maybe he's a little overhyped. Mark Williams I do like. Definitely like me some Mark Williams. Chris Paul, I'm very interested in seeing what he could do in 20 minutes. He could probably provide you loads of value. Ben Simmons, I'm drafting in a lot of places in the later rounds just because I think if he can make it to any kind of level that he was on before. Like we could go back to where he was in his first year. I'll be happy with that. Then Amen Thompson, I'll probably move him up. I like him. Onyeka Okongwu, Markelle Fultz. These are all guys the names that I'm reading are actually names that I'm actually putting in my queue, folks. Tariq Eason I like, but I'm not going to put him in my queue. Daniel Gafford. Then we have, it gets kind of ugly down here. The deeper you go. Oh, I like Zach Collins. For like my backup big. I like Zach Collins there. I'm okay with that. I'm not too interested in Malcolm Brogdon. No one Malcolm Brogdon. No one Gordon Hayward. No one Norman Powell right now. As we get later in the rounds, I might pull some of these guys up. Just trying to see if there are any of those names that I'm interested in that I need to go ahead and dig out of the ground here. Because they're buried deep. Deep. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's good. I think we're kind of all caught up in terms of our queue. So let me get to the top here. It looks like the next person available, or the next person in terms of projections, going at a 73.8 is Miles Bridges, and he just went off the board. So he's gone. Next up is my man Liddy 8. It looks like I'm almost up, so I'm going to start gearing up. Tyler Hero is still on the board. I'm on the record. I am not high on Tyler Hero. People think I'm crazy. And I think at this point, it's more just comical. I understand that Tyler Hero is a good basketball player. You know what I'm saying? He's a good basketball player. I'm not knocking him. He averaged like 20 points a game. Works really well for points leagues. I'm just out on Tyler Hero. I don't want, it's just other people in that range that I'll be interested in. I'm not checking for him. So I'm out on him. It looks like I might have a chance of grabbing Jalen Williams, though. That looks like that could happen. That can go down. We don't have any bigs, though. So that's something that's worth noting. So I'm going to grab, because I have the back-to-back pick, I'm going to grab Jalen Williams here. And then I'm going to just grab Yaka Pirtle with the next pick. So I feel comfortable that I have a decent big. I'm going to go ahead and double down and grab Mark Williams or Dan Gafford or Zach Collins or maybe Okongwu on the next pick. And then I'm going to be looking at another wing. Hopefully it's going to be Asar or Brandon Miller or even John Collins still available while we wait, because I'm 20 picks away. Let's go ahead and do that recap. So we were up to, I want to say we were right around CJ McCollum. So we had Jabari Smith Jr. at the 6'7", CJ McCollum, Gobert, Beal, Drew Holiday at the 6'11", which is the 71st pick. Miles Turner, whoa, that's late for Miles Turner, 6'12", which is the 72nd pick. Jalen Green, Wiggins, RJ Barrett, Allen, Bridges, Westbrook, Murray, Tobias Harris goes at the 80th pick. Michael Porter Jr. at the 7'9", Aaron Gordon at the 7'10", Tyler Hero at the 7'11". I grabbed Jalen Williams with the 84th pick, which is the 7'12". The top of the 8th round, we got Yaka Pirtle. That was my pick. Cam Johnson, 8'2". Terry Rozier at the 8'3". Jaden Ivey at the 8'4". I'm fading Jaden Ivey in most drafts. I'd rather have Devin Vassell. I'd rather have Austin Reeves. I'd rather have Terry Rozier, guys who are going in that area. I'd rather have, you know, a whole list of guys before Jaden Ivey. I just believe there's going to be too much traffic jam in that back court, you know, with Asar Thompson coming to town, with Cade Cunningham 100% healthy. Even with Cade injured, Jaden Ivey wasn't all of that. So I'm fading him. After Devin Vassell, we had Jonas, Austin Reeves, Brooke Lopez, Asar Thompson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Bruce Brown, Tyus Jones. Then at the top of the 9th round, who do we got here? And the thing about these drafts, they are long. So I typically go at least to the 13th round. I might go all the way to the end, but let's see how it goes. After Tyus Jones, we have Brandon Miller, Yusuf Nurkic, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting focused to take a look at what kind of options I'll have on my next series of back-to-back picks. So John Collins is the second player up in terms of ADP. He's at 96.1. I don't think he's going to be on the board for me. The next person I'm looking at is Chris Paul. I have a really good chance to get Chris Paul because I'm 8 picks away unless someone snipes him. So I would be targeting Chris Paul next. So my man, John Collins, is off the board. I'm going to be looking at Chris Paul next. Then I'm going to just kind of scroll down and see if there are any other bigs or wings that I didn't notice there. Okay, so it looks like Asar is also off the board. It looks like Asar is also off the board. So Chris Paul would be my preference here. And then for my second pick, I'm looking at some of these big men. Clint Capella, I like Clint Capella. I just don't think that it's going to be a situation where he's going to be healthy the whole year. So I'm staying away from him. In redraft leagues, in points league specifically, I would probably draft him if I could also have Okongwu on the roster, just so I can have that handcuff. And Okongwu has standalone value. So even if you grabbed Clint Capella earlier than him, and then you grab the Kongwu as well, you could essentially play both of them and still get some value. So I'm going to be up in a minute. It looks like with Chris Paul here and Ben Simmons here and Amin Thompson here, I think I will swing for the fences. Yeah, I think I might swing for the fences on this one. Swinging for the fences could look like Ben Simmons. It could also look like Amin Thompson. I've just seen more. I haven't seen anything from Ben Simmons in so long that I think if I had to pick one out of Amin Thompson and Chris Paul, and Ben Simmons, I would take Amin Thompson. His name is Amen. That's Amen, right? And also Ben Simmons, man, it's ugly out in these streets, man. It's no good. It's like he's quiet. Things are quiet for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab me some Amin Thompson. Just to recap my squad, at guards, I have LaMelo, Kyrie, Cade, Jalen, Chris Paul, Amin Thompson. At wings, I got Kevin Durant, Chris Middleton, OG Anunoby, Jakob Poeltl. So for my next few picks, I'm really going to be looking at bigs and wings. I kind of feel like I'm okay at guard for right now. So let me queue up some more wings and bigs. Jalen Duren won't be on the board, so I'm going to just go ahead and walk away from him. I'm not really interested in him anyway. Bojan Bogdanovic, although I think he's going to have a pretty substantial decline with Cade Cunningham back healthy, he's still somebody I'm interested in. Then we got Sadiq Bey, who is somebody that's kind of middle of the pack. Actually, like I just threw up in my mouth a little bit when I put him in my queue. So I'm going to stay away from him. Let's see what else. There's got to be something else here. Kelly Oubre Jr. I'm open to that. I'm open to that just because, your man, he has some potential, and also, he's on a squad that without James Harden, there might be some opportunity for him there. Jonathan Kuminga, another wing that I'd be interested in. Herb Jones, maybe not. Then we got, again, man, this is where it gets kind of oogly. I'm gonna just have to settle. And this is why I don't like going all the way to the end of the round, just because at this point it just is not as fun. You know what I'm saying? But and also I have a lot to do, so I want to be mindful of that. So let's say we'll go at least 12 rounds for sure. But we're gonna queue up a bunch of players. So Derek White, I had a lot of interest in him before the arrival of Drew Holiday. Not as high on him now. Jeremy Sohan is a player that I think has a lot of potential. I'm going to queue him up just because I'm not mad at that. Tari Eason, even though I already have Amin, I'll take him over there. Trey Murphy, because he's injured, people are staying away from him. But when he comes back, he's going to be super valuable. So I'll just throw him in the stash. He's not going to start most weeks, but let's see what happens with him. Mitchell Robinson, I think, is tons of value in this position to get him this late. Steve Adams is another center I'll be looking at. Okay with that. Totally okay with that. Rui Hachimura, not crazy about it, but because this draft is so deep, I might just queue him up. Malcolm Brogdon, I'm not really messing with him. Kevin Huerter, I know I said I was going to stay away from guards, but I'm just going to throw him in my queue because I'm interested. Grant Williams, Herb Jones also have some interest, especially with Trey Murphy being out. Robert Williams III, I'm interested in seeing what he does. Keontae George. And I think I'm feeling good right now. I think this is kind of a good place to be. I'm 8 picks away. Looks like there's a bunch of I'm going to put Cam Thomas in there as well. Josh Richardson. Nikola Jovic from Miami, the young man from Miami. Anthony Black. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Oh, Taylor Hendricks. That's a rookie from Utah, I believe. Like I've been hearing his name is ringing bells. So in a draft this deep, I'm okay with grabbing some value with a rookie, an untested, unproven rookie. I'm okay with that. Rashawn Holmes, maybe. Oh, Jamie Jaquez, holy guacamole chips. I don't know if you guys saw him in Summer League. He was outstanding. And I think like that's the kind of player that if he gets some playing time, it could be a problem. So on the next picks, I'm going to go ahead and just grab one wing and one big. So I'm going to be looking at Dan Gafford and Kelly Oubre. Yep, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit on that one too. So I'm about 2 picks away. I might be able to get both of those guys, Dan Gafford and Kelly Oubre Jr. That would be okay for me. You know, the draft is going well. I feel like I'm a really top-heavy team. I think I did well with that back-to-back pick to be able to secure LaMelo and KD in the first 2 rounds was dope. So I'm going to grab Dan Gafford here. And then with the next pick, I'm going to grab Kelly Oubre Jr., even though that does not bring me any joy whatsoever. It actually makes me a little sad. Shedding fantasy basketball tears. Shedding fantasy basketball tears. If you guys are playing best ball if you guys want to try best ball, make sure you check it out on Underdog Fantasy. If you use the promo code GAMEPICK, you will receive a $100 deposit match. Please use the promo code GAMEPICK to support this channel. So right now we are in round 12. So I'm going to go ahead and do the recap, and then I'm going to go ahead and hop off. If you guys catch this and you want me to go all the way to the 16th round, let me know. I'll do it. It just feels like, especially for me when I'm drafting, I really try to focus on making sure those first 12 rounds go really well, because then we get into the garbage bin later on. Not to disrespect anybody's talent. They're NBA players. They're the best players in the world. However, for fantasy, this is no bueno down in this area. So let's go ahead and do the recap. We were at, let's say we were at John Collins. We had Buddy Hield at the 101 pick, which is the 9th round. Klay Thompson, Shaedon Sharpe, Wendell Carter Jr., PJ Washington, Marcus Smart, Draymond Green, Chris Paul, Amin Thompson, Denny Avdia, Josh Hart, Kevin Looney, Obi Toppin, Clint Capella, Jalen Duren, Jordan Clarkson, Jaden McDaniels with the 10th round, 9th pick 117. Trey Jones, D'Angelo Russell, Benedict Mathurin rounds out the 10th round. Top of the 11th, Jeremy Sohan, Markelle Fultz, Bojan Bogdanovic, Derek White, Kuminga, Simmons, Eason, Okongwu, Quickly, Barnes, Gary Trent Jr. with the 11-11, the 131st pick. Then I grabbed Dan Gafford, Kelly Oubre Jr., threw up in my mouth again, Caleb Martin, Zubac, Trey Murphy, Adams, Portis, Wood, Robinson, Schroeder, Bay, Jarris Walker, Brogdon, Conley, Jalen Johnson, and that's where we are. So listen, if you need help with your fantasy team, or if you need help with your best ball team, please drop a comment. I promise I will respond to every single comment. And now that you have a better idea of creating a strategy for best ball this year, don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and check out the next episode, you freaking fantasy nerd.